Okay, so today we're just gonna kind of go over. I know y'all are like overwhelmed with information. Is everybody kind of new, or
We're in the first year.
First year, okay. So you've either just gotten a license and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much information. Where do I start? Or you're kind of refreshing and things like that. So either way, this will be some good information for y'all. But what we're going to talk about today is what happens when you get a contract and how to get that to closing. Things to kind of skip over a little speed bumps or issues that you might run into, how we can help you, how you can help us, how we can all work together as a team. Like Lindsay said, you do need a team to kind of make sure that everything runs smoothly. So the outline for today is going to be how agents can make a difference. We're going to go over receiving a contract. We're going to go over seller and buyer forms and the loan estimate, preparing to close and clearing title, when title's ready to close, when the lender's ready to close, and then when we get closing approved. So, in October of last year, it's our 1 year anniversary for the TRID update. TRID, and you'll also hear this rule referred to as CFPB. It's interchangeably used, but there were some changes that were made in our real estate world, which happens frequently. We get changes, right? But in October of last year, we had a couple of changes that made some things a little different for us. So what I tell my agents is when you have a closing, the national closing average is about 50 days. So we tell you guys that it's really important to kind of recommend to your clients a 60-day or sooner, somewhere right around there, closing on contracts, because it's always better to overestimate and tell them, hey, we can close sooner, than it is for us to say, hey, we're closing in 30 days, and then we keep pushing it back, and movers are scheduled, or whatever it is. So we recommend 45 to 60-day closing. There's a 30-day average when buyers are pre-approved. But with this rule, over-communication is the key. So the awesome thing about Capital is that we get our emails and our text messages and everything on our phones. So we have access to talk to you guys all the time. So you're allowed, me telling you, you're allowed to both me, you're allowed to both Stacy, all the time. With questions or concerns, or if you forgot about something, you need to reach someone, please reach out to us. But over communication is the key. So be transparent on all circumstances, on costs, provide invoices as soon as possible if they have anything to do with the HOA, home warranties, your disbursement authorization, all of that stuff, just sending it to us up front. Or if you have a question about it, call us. We're happy to help you. But just over communicating is the key with all of this. The title company will send draft CDs to assist lenders to get ready for closing. And this is a new update where we now work conjunctly with the lender. So we'll make sure that we've got everything right on our side. We'll make sure that they've got everything on their side, put it together, it matches before closing. The lender and the title company does not have to provide closing disclosures to agents anymore. So used to, before this rule, we were able to give all of the information to real estate agents. Now, they don't allow us to. So we can give it to the buyer, but this whole rule was created in order to protect the buyer's information. And so now we'll give it to the buyer if the buyer wants to, and I'm sure they will because you're their advocate, can share it with you guys, and then you can kind of look over it and make sure that things look, if there's anything that was missed on there. And then we provide a settlement statement to all throughout the closing process. Okay, how agents make a difference. So at listing and selling agreements, this is a huge thing for you guys. So when y'all go to listing appointment, utilize the title company. So I know we kind of talked about what we do as far as clearing title and things like that. But if you have a listing appointment, call us and say, hey, I'm going to go meet with Mr. Smith. He lives at 123 Main Street. And I just want to see, can you kind of give me some information on this property before I go meet with him? We can do a preliminary title search. We can make sure that the person in the meeting is actually Mr. Smith who owns that property. And Mr. Smith has rights to sell that property. We can make sure that Mr. Smith doesn't have any, crazy liens on his property or against himself, trying to put liens, mechanics liens, anything like that, just so you're kind of aware. I just talked to an agent He's also a Keller Williams agent, and he told me that he went to a listing appointment 2 weeks ago, and when he walked into his appointment, he thought, I got this, I'm just going to have to go in, tell him what I can do if I have the listing during the time. He walked in, and there were actually 2 other agents already there from different brokerages sitting on the couch, and it was like a panel interview. So use the tools, use us, call us and say, hey, I'm going to go visit with this person. What can you do to help me stand out? We've got, flyers and tools that you guys can utilize as well. So let us know, or call us and we can meet one-on-one to get that stuff together for you. Another way that you guys can make a difference is with surveys and T47. During your listing appointment, when you're meeting with somebody, ask them if they already have an existing survey. If they do, have them give it to you, get a T47, signs everybody know what T47 is? Yes. If you don't, it's basically, I like to use kindergarten terms for everything, for me to learn. So, T47 is basically a form that says, hey, we already have a survey, nothing has changed on this survey since the last time that we brought it. A lot of times if there is something that has changed, if it's like, they built a shed in the back or something like that, we are okay with accepting a survey where you take a pencil and you just kind of draw it in there in the backyard and then put in parentheses, not to scale. So if that happens, just talk to us, call us, let us know. But ask at your appointments if there's one, and that's how you can kind of get things speeded up. Also, HOA statement of account and resale certificates. We are happy to order these for you. So if you are, when you get a contract, and Stacy's really good about it, she'll shoot out an email and I'll show you all an example of it. And she's really good about reminding you of the things that need to be done. So she'll say, hey, we just got a contract, here's the received copy. This date is when the option period's over. This date is when we need this. This is the due date for this. This is the deadline for this, and kind of just give you some reminder dates. One of those is going to be that we need to have a statement of account or a resale certificate order. We're happy to do it for you, and she'll even include an email. Happy to do that for you. Just let me know. Some agents like to do it themselves. Some have us do it. So just let us know. And then FIRPTA. You know what FIRPTA stands for? Warren. Okay. FIRPTA is basically when you're at a listing appointment. What does it stand for? I can't remember off the top of my head. But Foreign International something. I will look it up. But the main thing with FIRPTA is when you are in a listing appointment, ask your sellers when you're asking them, all of their questions about their property and stuff like that. The biggest thing is that they don't have a social security number. And we'll review a little bit about it here in just a couple minutes and some things that will stand out if they don't have a social security number. Okay. How you can make a difference. So just provide early, and now there's a spot on the contract where all your broker's information goes, all of the agent information goes, your license number, your contact information. I should have seller/buyer contact information depending on which slide you are. But I cannot tell you how many contracts we see that are missing this information. There are, literally contract. When you get one and you guys are still in that negotiating process, make sure that all of your info is on there as much as you can. Even if you want to put 2 phone numbers on there or however it is, whatever the best way to reach you is, just so we can make sure that we stay in contact with you the whole time and our communication is on track, because it will avoid last minute surprises. We will ask you, Capital has an agent interview sheet. So when you're a new agent to us, we'll ask you how you like your transactions handled. We'll ask you, do you like us to reach out to your clients? Would you like us to just reach out to you and you reach out to your clients? And it's got all kinds of stuff on there. It asks, how you want to be paid, whether it's by check or by wire. It'll ask if you have a specific survey company that you like to work with, or a specific home warranty company that you like to work with. When we do that interview with you the first time we work with you, it goes in your file, and then we'll remember that for every transaction. And then we'll even put on there, do you like us to order your home warranty stuff, or your HOA, your resale certificates and statement of accounts? Do you want us to take care of that? Would you like to do it? Just so we know how you work and we can help run smoothly any future transactions Does anyone have questions on this before I move forward? No? Good? Okay. This is a sample of a survey. 2 things to look for when y'all get a survey, if there is an existing one, is 1, there should be a compass on it, and 2, make sure there's a seal. If there's not, let us know. We can help research that for you. But it does have to have this seal down in the corner. A lot of times we'll get something that looks like a survey. It's actually a plat. So if you have a question on it, you can send it to us, and we have an entire department that is in charge of reviewing surveys and making sure that everything looks good and all of that good stuff. Here's my FERPTA info that I don't know what FERPTA stands for. So when you ask the seller if they have a social security number, if they don't, let us know. The first thing to do is let us know on that, is because there are specific IRS guidelines, and there's a 10% of the sales price withholdings on some of those transactions if it's over a certain price. The good thing is, a lot of our escrow officers have been in this business for a really long time. They've seen tons and tons of contracts that have, that are applicable to this. So if you have a question, call us, and we're happy to help you. The last thing that you want to do is give tax advice to somebody. So just call us and say, hey, my seller doesn't have one. What do we do here? And we'll get them in touch with the right people. And I will get y'all acronyms. Okay, contract receipt. So Capital will assist in coordinating and delivering any items if you need to. So we are happy if you get a contract to just shoot it over to us. Side note, and I just discovered this, there is an app that is called, it's made by Evernote, and it's called Scannable. It has been like a lifesaver to me. And if y'all don't have it, you should download it. It's free. But it is it's scannable. But you literally take a picture, and you can take a picture of a multiple page document and shoot it to anybody. It sends it to them as a PDF. And that way, if you're in your car and you have a contract, or if you don't have time to run to the office or whatever it is, you can just literally take pictures with your phone, turn the page, take a picture, turn the page, take a picture, and it shoots over the PDF to us. And it has been an awesome lifesaver too, because my office is my scannable. Scannable. It's made by Evernote, and it's a blue app. So y'all can shoot us over a copy of the contract if you want to drop off a copy of the contract. You can do that if you want us to pick it up. You can do that also. Okay, Foreign Investment in Real Property Tax Act. That's perfect. He knew that. He didn't Google. I'm just kidding. So, as far as checks go, if you guys need us to help with picking up earnest money checks or option checks, or however you guys need help with that, just let us know. You can text me, you can text Stacy, you can email us. I can go directly to your client's home or their work if you don't have time to. If it's somewhere crazy far, please utilize us. Please don't drive to south of town. We have a courier service that will take care of that for you. And we can help deliver checks. So say that you have somebody who's out of town and they need their option check, we will happily overnight that for you. We'll just get it in writing from you saying, can you please overnight this option check? This is where they are. We'll drop it in the mail that day, and then they'll have it the next morning. Other things that we need when we receive a contract is the loan estimate. If it's applicable, the lender will send us a copy of that. And contract receipting is pretty quick with us. I'm kind of pushy. As soon as we get one, I'm calling everybody on the go. Receipt this, let's get it out, let's go. So that we can get it over into our plans and get started on title work. Here is an example of an email that goes out when we get a contract. So if you're on the seller side, and I won't read this whole thing, but it's just an example so that you guys kind of know what's going on. We'll attach a copy of the contract. We'll attach a copy of a map to our office so that you know how to find us, your clients know how to find us. And then there's a seller form that we need to have completed. This seller form will save you guys so much time. It gives us some information on your client so that we don't have to be going back and forth with phone calls. It'll answer most of the questions that will come up once we get a title commitment. It'll ask them, and I've got a copy of it on here. But the most important thing about this email is to get your copy of the receipted contract, but to also inform your client, hey, there's a form on here. We're going to have you guys fill it out real quick and shoot it back to title, and that'll help expedite some things. And we save you tons of time. There's also a note in here where we say, once your option period is complete, the courtesy will follow up in regards to any pending items for closing. In red, you guys will get anything that's pending. So when you get this email, go straight to the red part and say, here's where we'll talk about the HOA information. We'll talk about the survey stuff. We'll talk about the option money and how you want it delivered to your seller. But just some things that are important to you. We don't want to bombard you with emails, so we'll just try to make the important stuff like boom right here in red. Okay. Also, at this point is when we open title. We'll send that property information, the contract, over to our plant where they start working on everything. And as soon as we have a title commitment, we'll forward that to you guys. And if you have any questions in the meantime, you can always call us. I also have in here an example of if you're on the buyer side of things. Same thing. You have a copy of the receipted contract. You've got a map to the office. We've also got the important things in red that are pending, things that we need attention to. Also, you'll get a copy of the title commitment as soon as it's ready to go. And as always, call us if you have any questions. Seller and buyer form. This is those forms that I was talking about that will help save you guys time. We do send it separately. So whenever we get that contract, if you're on the buyer's side, you won't see anything about the seller or the seller's information. Same thing with the seller's side, you won't see anything on the buyer's. We'll send that email to you and your clients, depending on which side of the transaction that you're on. And like I said, it was just created to kind of save everybody some time and all the phone calls that can go in between. But like it says here, they'll assist in clearing the standard title findings, exceptions, and providing a clear title commitment copy to all parties and preparing files to close on our end. This is an example of what that form looks like that your clients will get. But you'll see that it's talking about the property address, it's asking if they're a resident, it asks about their marital status. All of these things that will pop up when we start running searches on their names, this kind of helps steer us in the right direction. And here's page 2 of that. It talks about where they work. It asks about the survey. So even if these are things that you kind of skipped over or forgot to ask, we'll swoop in and check on it for you. We also get their payoff information for you. So we'll be able to see what they owe on the property and all that good stuff. Same thing for the borrower. If you're on the buyer side, this is literally it. This is all of our information that we have to get from them. The listing side's a little more expensive. Okay, preparing to close and clearing title. Email and correspondence sent throughout the entire closing process, and we can do weekly or bi-weekly updates. So like I said, we talked about us doing that agent interview sheet. I will ask you guys, how do you want to be updated? I have agents that say, here's the contract, don't talk to me until closing, see you later, unless there's a problem. And then I have people that say, no, please keep me in the loop with everything, update me weekly, update me bi-weekly. I want to know, even if there's nothing to tell me, I have nothing to tell you, happy Tuesday or whatever it is. But we'll make sure that during that time you are updated and that we keep in contact with you as much as you like us to. I'll even ask you how you want to be updated, is it by email, is it by text, and we'll do that as well. This is what our curative request looks like. So after we get our title commitment back from our plant and we've ordered the tax certificate, we will send this out. And there's 2 sections here, whether you're the listing agent or with the seller or the buyer's agent with the buyer. But it'll say, we've attached a copy of our commitment. If you're on the listing side, it'll say, here's your payoff information, here's the information on the prior survey. It'll talk about the HOA and the resale certificate. On the buyer's side, we'll talk about the home warranty. We will ask I put on here, on the very bottom, let us know if this is a mail out for your client. We do mail outs, we do mobile closings. So there's a couple of things that you guys can know about that. We've done closings in the hospital, we've done closings base, we've done closings everywhere. So if you have, Capital Title has offices, we have 80 offices in Texas. So it is likely that if your clients are not here, we have a Capital Title that's close to them. So they can go to one of those Capital Titles and avoid a mobile notary fee. We can do a courtesy closing for them at one of those offices. If they are out of state or if they are somewhere where they can't drive, like the lady that we closed in the hospital, we're happy to go to them, and we can set that up. Whether it's Stacy that gets to go visit them, or we set up a mobile notary that goes and visits them somewhere else, we can definitely do that as well. Okay. At this point, once all of those things get taken care of, title is ready to close, we're good to go. We will reach out to you on that agent interview sheet. If it says to reach out to you and you want to coordinate with your clients, we'll do that. If you want us to reach out to your clients for you, we can do that for you as well. But we'll send out an update to everybody. We're saying the seller side is ready to close. We'll attach an estimate of the settlement statement so they know what they're going to be seeing. And if they have any questions at that time, they can ask us, they can ask you guys. Pending items, this is where we send it to you. And we say, if you have a commission that needs to be split, most of you guys are really, really good about sending DAs to us. There are circumstances where they forget, so this isn't just another reminder during the transaction. Hey, you guys, if you don't have a disbursement authorization, please send that to us. We can make sure everybody gets paid the right way, and the way you want to be paid, whether it's by check or wire. You want me to drive it over here. Also, we will remind you where the closing is, the date, the time that the sellers will be signing, the time that the buyers will be signing, just so that everybody's on the same page. And then we'll put in here, as a reminder, all parties that are shown on that signature line have to be present at closing. When the lender's ready to close, the same deal will go out. We'll send out an email now, because of that rule that I was talking about, the CFPB and TRID rule, lenders have to have all of the information to a borrower 3 days before closing. Those 3 days are called the review period, so they can kind of look over everything, make sure everything looks good. Once they get that and they're ready to close, let me tell you about this fun thing. Okay. Once they send that out and the buyers have those 3 days to review it, then we can set up that side of it and we're good to go. I do want to put this in here. So, anytime there's like a rule, you get the loophole and the exception to the rule. I will send you all this so that you have a copy of it. But when this happened, and this is also fun, they changed closing. They don't call it closing, they call it consummation now. So, Mr. Smith is coming in to consummate on Tuesday. But so this is kind of just like a guideline. But if you know that you're closing on Tuesday, these are when the lender has to physically give that information to the buyer. Remember I said they have to have it 3 days in advance. The weird thing is those 3 days are not timelines. So it's not 24 hours. So it's not like 5 p.m. is till 5 p.m. They can deliver something at 11:59 p.m. and that is day one. But just so y'all know, there are different ways that lenders have been delivering closing disclosures. Some people, very, very small companies, and I've only seen this like maybe a few times, will hand deliver something. So they can ensure I gave it to the person, they got it, now the clock starts. Now there's a delivery with a courier. If it's delivered by a courier or if it's mailed to a house, it has to be the physical borrower that signs for it. It can't be like their 18-year-old son who's home from school or whatever. But if this will kind of give you an idea as to when things are going out. The reason why they're different is because when this rule came out, they decided that it takes the average consumer 3 days to check their mail. So when you mail something, they are asking if a lender decides to mail something, they're going to give you a week. That lender has to get it to the borrower a week in advance. And the reason why is because they're going to say, okay, 1 day is not going to count as a business day, but also we're going to have 3 days for them to check their mail, and we're going to give 3 days for them to actually review it. So it turns into a 6-day period. They also think that it takes the average consumer 3 days to check their email. So if a lender decides to email something, the majority of the time they've been going out 6 days in advance. Unless you get a red receipt or something like that. On the bottom is where they put all their other fun rules. Like if it's a federal holiday and falls between 3 years. The good thing is you don't have to remember any of this. Stacy has been biologically programmed to remember all of this for you. So she'll be sure to stay on top of the lender and make sure that everything's going at the right speed and everybody's contacted at the right time. Cool? So that can take some weight off your shoulders. Okay. Once closing gets approved on the lender side and it gets approved on the title side, and everybody comes in or everybody's scheduled to close, we'll call the buyer, we'll call the seller, we'll make sure that everybody's confirmed and everything's good for closing. Our goal on this is 3 days prior. We're going to make sure that if anybody has any questions, they get answered at this time. They're going to know where they're going, they're going to know what time to be there, they're going to know what to bring, what to expect, and what they're going to be signing, all of that good stuff. We will send a message out to everybody saying, here's an update, the cash that the buyer needs to bring to closing is this. Again, a reminder, here's where we are, this is the date. We'll call you guys, we'll let everybody know. We just want everybody on that same page. I remind you as to what they need to bring with them. We'll send a separate email to the buyer and tell them some of their information that we don't want the seller to have access to. But since we cannot give that closing disclosure to you guys, we will send it directly to the buyer and say, the first 5 pages of this are some information that you need to review. The buyer is allowed to give this to you. So, as their agent, tell them, okay, you'll get your closing disclosure from the title company. When you get that, be sure to shoot it over to me and I'll be happy to review it with you. And then if you have any questions at that point, you can help. Funding updates. This is where y'all hear money sounds. Cha-ching, cha-ching. We will send out 2 funding updates. One is we had all parties have signed, everything's good to go, we submitted everything to the lender, and we're just waiting for them to approve it. We'll call everybody if there is any unexpected delay. The second one is where you really hear money signs and you start booking your flights to Vegas. We funded, so we'll make sure that everybody gets a copy of the final settlement statement. If you have not already told us, this is the time to tell us how you want your check delivered, if it is a check, or if you want to pick it up. If you did give us a DA and it's got wiring instructions, then we'll make sure that we get it out to you that way. Post-closing. So I did give y'all something today. A couple of things, but this is something that Capital Title does. Do y'all have one of these? Okay. These cards, when we were kind of talking about things that we do as a title company, we do all of I call us like the funnel of the transaction because there's so many parties that come into this, and the lenders and the buyers and the sellers and all the agents and all the home warranty people. The title company is like the neck of the funnel. So we're going to make sure that everything gets together and we all feed it down into the bottom. But additionally, our goal in all of this is to help you guys grow your business. Frankly, if y'all don't have business, we don't have business. So Stacy and I both specialize in business planning. So I'm happy to sit with you guys. We do have and I'm happy to do one of these classes for you guys if you want to. But I do one-on-one appointments for business planning, where you give me 6 pieces of information. You tell me how much money you want to make in a year. You tell me if your goal is to work 50% with listings and 50% with buyers, or 70-30, or whatever it is. You tell me your commission, which is normally 3% unless you do something different. You tell me what your split is, so whether it's 70-30, 60-40, however that works. And then the average cost of the homes that you sell. So if you haven't started selling much, or you're not really sure, I do know what the housing forecast projected for the year, so we can use that for like the average cost of a home in San Antonio. The sixth is where we kind of play with some information, but we'll put those 5 pieces of information into an Excel spreadsheet. This thing is awesome. It literally breaks it down and tells you what you have to do. It'll say you have to have X amount of appointments this year to get X, this many sales. That cell is going to equal the desired income that you entered on the first page of that spreadsheet. It breaks it down into saying how many contacts or how many touches you have to make with people in order to get that many appointments, to get that many contracts. And then it will ask you that 6 pieces where it's different for everybody, because you'll really put in there what you're comfortable doing. It'll ask you if you're comfortable door knocking. It'll ask you if you want to do newsletters. It will ask you if you think that you're going to get business from, a church group or referrals, or however it's very custom. But you'll put it in there and you'll put 20% of my effort is going to go towards door knocking and 20% is going to go towards open houses. It will tell you in a 5-day work week how many phone calls you have to make, how many emails you have to send, how many open houses you have to do a month, how many doors you have to knock on. I have had great feedback on that. But these postcards are part of that. So if you are on the listing side of a transaction and you close with Capital Title, we can send out 100 postcards in that neighborhood, just sold postcards. You design them. This is just some examples that are on here. But we can send out just sold postcards on your behalf. And you pay $50. Capital Title picks up the rest of it. Those 100 cards will go out and say we just sold the property in your neighborhood, and hopefully generate some more business for you in that neighborhood. But additionally to this, instead of just, and you are more than welcome to pull your own addresses. I personally go in and pull addresses just to help you guys to make sure that you're not sending a postcard to somebody that has their house already on the market or just sold in the last 6 months, or the sale's pending or contingent on something. I'll kind of weed those out to make sure that you're not reaching out to those people and wasting a postcard on something that's not a true lead for you. But we help with that. I also put in y'all's little stack one of these guys. This just kind of tells you a little bit about our company. Something that Capital Title does is we have multiple underwriters. So if you have a sticky situation, some title companies have one underwriter. So if their underwriter will not insure that property, they cannot insure that property. We have the option to shop underwriters. So if you bring us something and for whatever reason, one of our underwriters cannot insure it, we have the opportunity to go to the next one and then the next one, and kind of ask. It is very unlikely that we cannot get something insured. I also put in here some tools and resources that we have. We do have an app that you guys can utilize. It's called the CAP app. There's no space. If you put CAP space app, it comes up with I'd cap that or something. That's not us. So it is the CAP app. But you can do sellers estimated or sellers proceeds on there. You can do buyers estimated closing costs. You can type in the sales price on something and it will tell you what the title policy is going to cost. All of these things that you can do really quickly if you're in a hurry. If you want something very detailed, call me or text me or text Stacy, and we can do it for you and make sure that we get that detailed and sent over to you. Some other things that we have that I gave you guys are our football schedules. This is also something that you guys can utilize personally, but also, if you are out door knocking and you want to pass out some football schedules, let me know. I can get you guys some of these and y'all can have something to door knock with, or to, if y'all are going to an event and you need something to pass out, let us know. We can help with that as well. Do y'all have any questions as far as the contract to close stuff goes, or any title questions, or anything that I kind of talked about today, or that I didn't talk about today that you thought of? Or are y'all just like on information overload and you're like, I need call her, but I'm not going to remember. Tell her all good? Okay. I'm encouraging everybody to put in your phone, call Amber at Capital, like pick a day when Ignite is over, and just put it in there and say, call Amber at Capital. My cell phone number is on there, and we can revisit. And you can tell me one-on-one what you're comfortable with, what you have questions on. If you need a review on something, I'm happy to do that as well. If y'all want to do the business planning, I'm happy to do that. And we can go grab a coffee. I think y'all have a really amazing cafeteria that I have not tried yet. But I'm happy to meet with you guys. I want to be an extension of your team and help things run smoothly. I'm the first person to say, bug me as much as you need to, or ask me any questions if I don't know the answer. I'm sure I know somebody, how to call Stacy, but somebody will know the answer and we'll get you an answer quickly.
I have a for sale by owner that I'm working on, and they're the person that I've been talking to is unsure who even is in charge of the property right now because recently passed away. Would you be able to look into that?
Absolutely.
So I can come from a place of knowledge.
Yes, exactly. So a good, I tell my agents that do target FSBOs, call me. You know, obviously don't call FSBOs that have only been on the market for like a week or 2 weeks because those sellers are still like in the mindset that I'm selling it, I'm not paying your realtor, you know, stuff like that. As it's been on the market a little longer, call me and say, hey Amber, I really want to reach out to this for sale by owner. Can you give me as much information as you can? Same in this situation. Shoot me when you have some time to me, shoot me their address. I will send that to our plant and they'll do some homework, what do they call it. They're really fast. I've never had to wait more than 24 hours to get something back, but they'll send me a preliminary title search. And that will say on there the last deed, who owns the property. It'll also talk about any liens that are on the property for when you do list it. And you'll know what needs to be cleared up. Things that they probably know about and have forgotten or think they can sell without handling. But we can pull it up and see if there are any of those and make sure that the person that you're dealing with is the person that you need to be dealing with, or we'll be able to tell you who you need to reach out to if there is a gap in there and what needs to be done. Okay. Absolutely. Just text me. If y'all ever come across something like that, or even if you just have a listing appointment and it's not a for sale by owner, you want some information ahead of time, just text me and say, Amber, can I get a property search on this? And I'll have it to you. Like I said, the longest I've seen is 24 hours, so shoot it to me the day before. Tell me when your appointment is and I'll get it to you before then. Awesome. Any other questions?
It's hard to know sometimes what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
What are some common things that you see from brand new agents that it's nice, maybe you've already talked about that you that would be beneficial or that you can talk about here, yeah, that you maybe run into?
For new agents, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. So we are huge on, when I started in this industry, I knew nothing about real estate. Like I literally had never bought a house. I lived in an apartment. I knew nothing. So when I started, people would say something to me like, oh yeah, and on the HUD, and I'd be like, so just tell me. Honestly, guys, I know exactly. That's why I say I like to say things like as if you're a kindergartner, because I still like people to do that, even if I know what I'm talking about, just because it makes things easier for me. But I encourage hand holding even when you are comfortable with something, because I think that the more heads are in something, the more people will think about something that could be missed. Every transaction is different. Literally, every single transaction is different. So you will, I hate to say it this way, but I feel like you will never get to a point where you know what's going to happen. So feel free to tell us, like, hey, I have no idea, can you help me? Even if it's, hey, I need to write a contract. What do I do? Where do I start? Stuff like that. We're more than happy to help. We see them all day, every day, so we'll be able to help you guys in that sense. But the biggest thing for new agents is just to say to us, and the good thing is that you can say it to us, I have no idea, help me. But you never have to tell your clients that. Because you want them to think that you know everything, right? So if they ask you something and you don't know, then tell them, you know what, let me check with Stacey really quick, I'm gonna call her and I'll call you back. We do, like I said, get our emails and everything on our phone, so we're really quick to respond on things. So if you have a question, just shoot it to us. Just text us or call us or whatever you're comfortable with, and we'll get you an answer as quickly as possible. But that way you can relay that confidence over to your clients, because that's the biggest thing. The other thing is being responsive. You know, if we ask for something, make sure that you get it to us. There are crazy timelines and deadlines and all kinds of stuff. So as long as we ask you for something, even if you don't have it, say, hey, I don't have that yet, and we can help facilitate get that for you. But the biggest thing is just being responsive. And if you don't know, just tell us, hey, I don't know. And we're happy to help you. Your success and everything will come from working as a team. So we are totally on board with helping you guys as much as we possibly can. What else? What else are y'all thinking or seeing or?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
On the foreign seller, if they don't have a social security number, you said 10% of the sales process withheld.
Yes, so that's if it's over a certain price. So if you do meet with somebody and they tell you, you know, hey, I don't have a social security number, there is the IRS makes them withhold 10% of that sales price, and it's used for their taxes. Is that what it is? It's their taxes. But when that happens, if you meet with somebody and they say, hey, I don't have a social security number, just call us and we'll get you in touch with the right people so that you have the form and all the questions that you need to ask those people.
Okay, so what do you need to choose for their taxes?
I think that it is because when somebody when they're not a resident of if they're not a resident of the United States and they are, just have a rental property here, or they're not claiming it as their homestead, it's just a second home in the United States, and they are ready to sell it, they have no obligation to pay taxes on it. So the IRS will require that 10% is withheld, and it's not forever. It's a certain time period that they withhold that money, and it is just to make sure that everything gets paid for.
And then they get that money back.
And it's after the time frame on it.
Every transaction is completely different, and they just changed the guidelines in January as far as what properties fall. And because we used to, a couple years back, we used to have to actually withhold it as a title company, send it off to the IRS, they would hold it, then we'd have to direct buyer and seller to go sign certain forms, and then they would release it. Usually it took anywhere from 30 days to 6 months. Now they just changed it a little bit to where they do still have to send it off, but I'm seeing it come back a lot quicker. But there's a certain form that they have to go through and ask them all of these questions to see if they actually qualify for it, and the 10% has to be given out at closing, or whether it can be something where the seller can deal with afterwards. So it's very important once you find out that they don't have a social security number, if you get in touch with us, and then we'll figure out what the next steps are from there.
Yes. Any other questions? So y'all are getting ready to go and sell houses right now and send us the
Absolutely, they are. Listings galore. Thank you so much.
Well,
We
thank you for
appreciate it.
having us.
Helpful.
I appreciate it. Good. Thank you.